How many times has your intuition been right and you didn't listen? Let's be honest. So many of us have this experience as we are feeling into trusting ourselves and trusting our gut. And today I have with me on the Magdalene Interview Series, Foteini, and she's going to share her last name with us and introduce herself. But before we do that, I just want to drop in. We are doing the Magdalene Interview Series also in partnership with the fact that I'm leading a Magdalene Pleasure Pilgrimage, Your Wild Roots, to the south of France in September. And this is an invitation into what that is all about and how we can be in relation as women, in celebration, in our differences, how we can widen the conversation around the Magdalene, and how we can really honor all of the different spiritual traditions that we are carrying today. So today I have with me this Grecian priestess who is going
Hmm.
literally coming to us straight from Greece. And we're so excited to welcome you onto the show. Foteini, will you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your work?
Thank you, Melissa. It's so nice to be in this conversation. And I know that Mary was calling me for quite some time to talk about her and about me. I'm Foteini. I will not spell my last name. It's a bit difficult. It's Greek. I am a self-knowledge consultant, esoteric astrologer, and I call myself an activator of higher consciousness, and I'm carrying the energies of the high priestess. And I met Magdalene, the energy of Magdalene, in this lifetime 10 years ago, first in Glastonbury and then in Italy, in Assisi. And I have heard, of course, her name, but it's another thing to feel her in real time. Um, Maybe because I am connected with her energy, sometimes while I'm speaking, I may become more emotional,
Hmm.
but it's because I am embodying her energy, I'm feeling her, and I'm always emotional when I am connected with her.
Mm.
And yeah, it's something that I cannot do anything about that. I feel that I'm crying. I will try to maintain my yes. And this is what I'm doing. I'm working with women all around the world the last 12 years, doing activation, astrology, seven rays, but mainly working with helping women to raise their consciousness. This is basically my work.
Beautiful. Foteini, I am so excited to dive into this conversation with you. Do you
Thank you.
You had mentioned in our green room before we went live that initially it was challenging to connect to Magdalene energy. Do you want to
Yes,
let's start there. Let's speak a little bit about that. What was that
yes.
about?
Yeah, that's a very interesting story. You know, when I first met, I use the word met because it was as if I saw her because I saw her, okay, in a vision. I met her, I saw her in Assisi in the spiritual center Ananda, which means the heart. And I just felt her energy and I saw the vision with her energy and I said, this is Magdalene. And in front of me, there was a woman from Slovakia and her name was Magdalene.
Hmm.
And yeah, and I was, and the woman said to me, yes, she wants to talk to you. Come with me. And we started talking, and I was planning on doing a tour in the Greek temples with a friend of mine at that time, with an idea that came to me one night, merging the energies of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And I was planning to do that in the temples of Greece. And when I met this woman, that moment, she told me, you have to do that. No matter what happened, no matter how many people will come, you have to do it. And she took me and she guided me to the gift shop of the center, and she gave me the rose pink crystal in the shape of a lotus flower. And she said to me, this is from Magdalene. You have to use it. And I was using that for years, still now, for healing, especially the womb, but my heart also. Moving forward, after I did the tour, it was about me connecting with the energies of my sacred masculine. And that was very challenging for me. 1 year later, 1.5 years later, she came into my sleep and she was explaining to me that her initial and my initial in the Greek alphabet are opposite.
Oh.
Yes. M for Magdalene is the 12th letter of the Greek alphabet, and mine is the 21st. But mine is the letter that clicks the Fibonacci sequence, because F, Foteini, the Greek F, is the most sacred letter according to the Oracle of Delphi. And she was saying to me that I am a part of you, because she was an oracle too, and she has been to Delphi. And she was telling me she wanted to remind me of my lives as a priestess, but I didn't want to, because it was very painful. But also because as I found out later, I was connecting her experience with losing Yeshua with mine. And I didn't want anything to do with that, because I was in great pain, because all the memories of past life of losing my partner had started being overwhelming for me. And so I didn't want to deal with that. So I didn't want to speak to her.
Yeah.
For almost 2.5 years, I was very angry with her. I was angry because I was in great pain. But as I was moving deeper into my healing and into my work, she was always in the back of my head. Now I know that, helping me to be softer and not so closed up.
Wow.
But it took a while. It took a while. And then when when finally I accepted her,
yeah,
we spent almost a year with her, nourishing me and being, because I didn't have feminine friends who could support me. And so she stood by my side and were there for me energetically, like a pillar of love. And yeah, to tell you the truth, I don't know if I could survive without her.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is so beautiful. Foteini, I
yeah,
feel that is so it's so relatable. Just kind of like we started our conversation, that resistance that we feel when we feel this inner nudge and it doesn't make sense and it
yeah,
also feels dangerous, or we're
yes,
angry or we're resisting it. And then how beautiful that, like, what actually happened was a year of nourishing when you
yes,
finally accepted her, that it
yes,
was like being held, and you
yes,
mentioned
exactly.
like being held by a mother. um I just love that, because I find that if I listen to my intuition, it always leads me in a direction that's for my highest and greatest good.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so I love that that was your experience with her. Uh,
Hmm.
my goodness, to be shown all of your past lives sounds like a lot.
Yeah, yeah. It was a lot. Yeah, yeah,
It's a lot.
yeah, yeah. That, yeah. It has been, it has been a 7 year cycle that eventually has closed, but it was the toughest thing I had to go through.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you could speak some more to, you said you don't know if you could, like, survive without her. I mean, that's a big statement. Like,
Yes, it is. It
how
is. I know.
does that show up in your everyday life, this relationship with Mary Magdalene?
Um, she helped me accept my feelings. She
Mm,
accepted me in my totality as I am. She was, because she could she could feel everything that I am and that I had suppressed. She she was there like every mother should be,
mm,
as presence. It's not the words, because at the beginning, after she explained how we were connected and all that, and of course I have the same connection with Yeshua, but Yeshua is like a teacher to me. With her, it was an intimate relationship. It's like I was feeling her energy, you know. I was receiving the wave of love. I always received Mary as a stream of red plasma light. And it came also 2 days ago. I mentioned that to you in my email, because she was telling me that you have to speak about our relationship. And I was receiving her energy, which now is completely different, because, now that my whole body is purified, I can receive all the love of this red ray, which is the representative ray of Mary, um, without losing my harmony, my balance, my equilibrium. And it doesn't go to the places within me that triggered past wounds or past anger. And I knew that it was time to speak about her. And today, because nothing is random, I know how she's guiding me and you, because she showed me something. Today, it's the first day of the red serpent wave spell, according to the Jolkin calendar. Today, it's the first day. And so the energy of the red, it's the energy of the romantic love that it's coming back to the planet. But she insists on saying that this time has no pain within. I have done a channeled message of her in my channel, and she repeated that this is the time of true love, no suffering anymore. But it has to come through the open heart of the feminine, who must first connect themselves with their own higher self through the heart, trust what you just said, trust themselves, trust their intuition, and then open. It cannot happen the other way around. Feminines, me included, we were trying to connect first with the outside masculine, so that they can, and we together can fix the bridge, the broken bridge. It cannot be done like this. And she showed that to me. In real life, she showed that to me. First, we have to connect with our own self, then with the feminine side that she's representing, and then with our own masculine aspect, which is our higher self, our spirit, and from that point, with the outer. It's a process.
I love that. And that was something that we had talked about before in our green room as well, is that this pleasure pilgrimage, that's how I'm holding it as well, that it's about devotion to self. It's not actually about devotion to Mary Magdalene, which is why there will be people on this pilgrimage who don't have a really close relationship to Mary, because I think that's something that's beautiful to me about all of the divine feminine energies that I've ever connected to, is like, they're not self-centered, and they're not like demanding, and they're not like worship me and listen to me and obey my words. It's so different. It's just very much like go within, do the uncovering, love what you find, and love it even deeper, and then celebrate that radiance in everyone around you. And I love that, because I think that that is that path to love and to less suffering on the planet, is when we can really show up in deep love of ourselves, we have a far greater capacity to extend that to everyone around us.
Yeah, this is definitely her way. This is definitely her way. Mary doesn't want. Sorry that I'm speaking like I am her, but I'm talking from my own experience. She doesn't want to mention her as like, look, I am carrying these energies, and I'm speaking like Mary. But on the contrary, she was always a free spirit. She was an Aquarian too, like me. She always nudging me with astrology. She was a very good astrologer. All the initiative in ISIS were astrologer.
Yeah.
She was a free spirit. She always saying to me, be who you are. And intimacy true intimacy cannot come unless the heart is open.
Mm.
Otherwise,
Yep.
we are talking about sex. We are not talking about sensuality. And now it's the time for the teachings of the temples to come online.
That makes me
They-
giddy. I love it.
yeah, yeah, because they need purified vessels. It's the human body is not cannot be used for power games.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Well,
a vessel of it's a vessel of love.
yeah.
She was a vessel of love. She, through her life, was the vessel of love because she was carrying the Christ consciousness.
Mm.
This is, but now we are doing that as individuals, okay?
Yeah.
Each and every one of us is doing that.
I love that. And I want to take a little shift in the conversation because she was carrying Christ consciousness, we know. She carried this way of love. And she also carried a lot of spiritual traditions that were from varied cultures in a similar
Yes.
way to many of us today. Like if we're waking up to ancient temple practices, it's not like that was something that was taught to us by our mothers. So I'm really curious how you are in relation with the spiritual traditions that you carry.
Yeah, that's a whole other story with that. When I came back from England and Glastonbury and Assisi, it was 2016. Then I went to Paphos in Cyprus and I was connected with the energies of Aphrodite. And then in 2019, when I start I started receiving words and instructions to do certain activation. I was so afraid of that because I didn't at that time know what I was doing. But I had been connected with my aspect of me, the multidimensional aspect of me, and I was carrying activation in the human vessel that were known only in the temples. And
Mm,
I had to trust myself and what I was receiving. And people were coming and asking for that.
mm,
It's not about because my country is very, very, very conservative. That's totally unknown. And I had to say that many women in Greece suffer from not truly feeling pleasure,
wow.
even in the old way. Okay, let's say the traditional way. Anyway, and so I was starting receiving these activations, and I didn't know what was all about. And then after a while, I was receiving the knowledge that I was in the temples, and that was part of the mysteries of the feminine priesthood.
Yeah.
And, you know, my human life, born in Greece, was like the dark and the light, but it was something that I brought from England. And it was my own pilgrimage. So I
Mm,
download all this knowledge. And later she was guiding me, not only Mary, but also Isis. And all these practices are practices that were known only to priestesses in the temples,
yeah.
whether in Egypt, in Mesopotamia, in Avalon. Okay, that was a sacred knowledge that was buried It wasn't known. It wasn't familiar. And even to this day, not many feminines who claim to be or using these methods are truly using these methods, because the original known methods of the priesthood, of the lineage of the rose, were secret, because they need a certain level of purity. And when I say purity, it's about the purity of the heart.
Right.
It's about the intention. And it has to do with the sacred love between the feminine and the masculine. You have to embody the energies of purity, not only talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference.
Yeah, and I'd love to ask the audience, if you're watching this, to kind of think about, we know we have an inner masculine and feminine
Yes,
energy, and when I think about that sacred union, it's also how it's met inside of ourselves. Like, can all
exactly,
the parts of ourselves meet each other in love? And so just
exactly.
about that for yourself, and if you want to share comments with us, we of course would love to see them. Foteini, this has been such a riveting conversation, and you have shared a lot of things that I think might be sort of planting seeds for
Yes, this is
people.
yes, this is exactly what I'm doing. Yes.
It's so beautiful. And I feel like very grateful and honored that we have crossed paths and that I was able to provide this opportunity for you to share about your relationship.
Yeah, and I am grateful. I am grateful for this opportunity too, because I don't speak to everybody. I feel the energies before I. This is part of my intuition, and I feel the energies before I talk with other men or women, but we are talking about women, because I know that whoever is sent my way and asking for me and we share has to be in a certain level of same frequency of vibration. And that's why I'm grateful that you gave me this opportunity, because we are all here to share. We are not here to be one in front of the other, but the sharing must be equal and with respect.
Exactly. I so appreciate you speaking into those things, because we do see still a lot of hierarchical nonsense, even when it
Yes.
comes to
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
feminine spiritual spaces. And it's like that is still operating in the patriarchy.
Yeah. 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 Believe me, I have suffered from that, because, as I said, my country still is very, very deep patriarchal country,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah.
it's very difficult.
It is. It is for, I think, many individuals, and just even the capacity to hold space, that everyone's truth is their own truth, and how they're,
Yes, of course.
and but and with respect for others, and with the capacity to do no harm to others, and the capacity to listen and honor everyone's lived experiences. And that's where I really wanted to um, kind of do this differently with talking about Mary Magdalene, because there's a very narrow way of talking about her right now,
Yes.
and it doesn't do justice to the many different ways that she is kind of coming into our hearts. So what a gift it's been, Foteini, to have you here.
Thank
Those of
you.
you
Thank
who
you.
have felt resonance with Foteini, you can see we have where you can find her on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube to connect more deeply with her. And do you have any kind of programs or anything coming up that you want to mention before we go?
Yeah. Yes, the program that Mary guided me to initiate in 2019, it's exactly the Way of the Rose. It's an educational program lasting 1 year, and it is exactly that. Each woman starts the program where I transmitted transmit all the codes, activations, and do all the foundational work so that she can work with anything beyond that, with her work, with her relationship, with her finances. But I'm playing the role of mother, putting the foundation. And it is exactly what Mary taught me to do. That's why she gave me the instruction to say the way of the rose, because the way of the rose is, as the word is saying, it's a new path. It's the path of love. And the path of love needs new foundation, grounded and with certain guidance about the new era that is here. And I'm so grateful and proud because not only she guided me, it's like showed me, reminded me of all that, but she is present in all of that education, each step of the way with me, because I brought it. It's like a girl for me. It's my second child,
Mm,
and no one, and it's something that no one else is doing on the planet. You are doing something else. Someone is doing something else. Everybody, we have a certain uh, place. And
yeah.
when we respect that without being afraid that you are going to take something for me or I'm going to take something from you, this is so important to understand that the way of the rose is the way of love. It is supporting each woman, each individual. It's not about battling. It's very important to feel into that.
Yeah.
It's and this is what I'm doing. This is my baby. This is my child. This is my program, and I am so grateful for that.
Oh, beautiful. So please do reach out to Foteini in her beautiful program. And I love the key pieces that I heard you say that I'm always listening for when people talk about programs, especially year long like that. Is when you said, I guide this like a mother. And earlier you described a mother is about presence and honoring you. And I think matters because there's a lot of programs out there, and how are we being in relation to ourselves, and how are we being in relation to our internal authority as opposed to outsourcing. And everything that you shared today about how it has to come here first, then we can, commune with ascended masters and
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
love.
Exactly. I loved when you sent me the question. It's exactly what I'm doing, being practical. I many times withdraw my energy from all these kind of programs because they, most of them are ungrounded, because
Mhm.
they are asking from women to jump into the unknown,
Yeah.
and it creates imbalances within them. The feminine is about stability, but stability and foundation within.
Mm.
And so I give the tools for that. I never say to anybody what to do. In fact, I am totally against that. And it was the way I operated with Mary too. till I was convinced and feeling to my heart. And she never, not once pushed me. She was present. And that was the greatest lesson I learned about love, that love is presence.
Yeah.
That's it. And if we have to transmit a message from our so beautiful conversations, I'm cheering a little bit because it's coming again, is that love is presence.
Love is presence.
Each present creates the field so that everyone can feel safe to explore himself. And this is how we build trust, because you asked me about how can we trust our intuition.
Yeah.
We can't unless we are safe and in with good foundation. That's it.
Love that. Well, thank you again for
You're welcome.
you shared today. For those of you watching, let us know how that resonates for you. Love is presence. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. And in 20 minutes, I'm going to be going live with Deidre Towns for the Black Madonna Codes for our first episode of our talk show there as well. Please do reach out if you're interested in coming with us on the Magdalene Pleasure Pilgrimage, and we'll see you next time for the Magdalene Interview Series. Bye for now.